Hey everybody, my name is Sylvie and today I'm going to show you how to put together your racing turtle kit. They don't really make that noise, that was sort of a truck noise. So this one's a sea turtle, so it can fly also. So I'm going to put together one turtle, but each kit has two turtles. So I'll show you what's in the kit. So this is your turtle shell, the top of the turtle. This is the turtle body, and on one side it has a bunch of holes, and the other side it has two holes. There's 4 wheels per kit, per turtle, 2 axles. And these things, these are called screw eyes or eye screws because it has a hole that they call the eye and then threads so it can screw in. And you'll need 2 nails. And I sent an extra eye screw and extra nails just in case you hit them sideways and they break or something. And then there is this sheet of turtle parts. So these are sea turtle arms, you have 2 of each, and these are sea turtle legs. These are land turtle arms and legs, and these are turtle legs that's sort of a combination of both from my imagination. And so you can use these, or I sent some other colored paper that you can cut these out and trace. You could draw on these, but we'll get to that. So you also got a set of markers, but you are welcome to paint these. And you got a tub of glue and a pipe cleaner. You will need a hammer and a pair of scissors. And I'll tell you about this guy when we get to it. So remember to put on your safety glasses, especially for when we're hammering. And if you have an adult around, they should have some eye protection as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to sand the fuzzies off of this. And if you want to sand all of this and make it nice and smooth, the side with all of the holes, this is the side that's going to be down. This side is this side, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to take my blue sandpaper that's a little rougher, and I'm going to fold it into thirds, and I'm going to just sand these fuzzies off. And I know sanding isn't always the most fun, but it's a good skill and you'll get used to it. So I'm just gonna sand the fuzzies off of where those holes drilled in. And you can do some shaping with this. This tail is kind of pointy. If I want to round it, I can do that. And if I want to make all these edges that are a little sharp, not so sharp, I'll just sand them. And if you want to, you can sand this head smooth. So we can sand all those parts. And this shell, we've sanded it for you. It's pretty smooth. The one part you'll need to sand is around here, around this edge. We wanted you to have some sanding. Okay. So once your pieces are all sanded, what happens is these get glued and nailed together. So we want the shell about like that. So it's little pointier at one side than at the other, and the pointier side is the top, near the head. And so what we're gonna do is we'll nail it like this, and these 2 holes in the middle, these are for your nails. So these are your little nail holes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on this piece. So I sort of spin it around so it doesn't drip. And these are really good glue spreaders. It's a little bit easier than the glue bottle. And I know I sent you plenty of glue for this task. So I'm not going to go all the way out to the edges because then I'll have a little less cleanup this way. I'll put that aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top on it, and it'll be squishy and wiggly because of the glue. And now I'll take a nail, and it slides right through that hole, but it'll seat in the other hole. And really it's just the glue will hold it, but this is just so we can keep working. So I'm going to look over it. It looks good. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. So there, now it's together, and the glue will take about an hour to dry, but we can still keep going. If you get a lot of glue that squeezes out on the side, it's called squeeze out, you can get a wet paper towel and just clean it up. You'll want to clean it up while it's still wet, because your markers or paint will be fine with it, but markers won't color over it that well. So now we have our turtle. And we can start putting our eye screws in. So the eye screws are these, and it's the same. You spin to the right and it tightens. So you just need to push down just a little bit and you spin it to get started. Just like that. And then this is what this is for. You can spin it like this or turn like this. These eye screws, sometimes you'll want to put something through it, and you can, but y'all are so strong that you might push the eye screw out of shape. So this is a good way of doing it. And it'll take a little coordination. And so I'm going to put this in until my threads disappear. And we just want to notice where it is because we want all of our eye screws to be about the same depth. We want the same amount sticking out and the same amount in the wood. And now it'll be a little bit harder to spin this in here because I'll bump into that one, but that's why this is nice. It can move. One more turn. One more. So now these, and you want them to be in line with each other like this. It's called parallel. So I'll get this one started. And there's so many kinds of turtles out there that live in the water or on land that I wanted to give you an option to make both or something in between or something from your imagination. And I like the idea of racing turtles because people think of turtles as slow. So it could be a slow race or a fast race. Or a flying race, underwater race, all sorts of things. Okay, so I want these to be in line just like this. So if you want if you're going to paint your racing turtles, now would be a good time. I started to paint mine when the wheels were on, and it was a lot harder. So now I would paint everything in pieces if you're going to paint it. If you are going to draw on it, keep going. You could decorate your parts while they're together or while they're separate. Either way you want to do it is fine. So the rest of these parts, we have these pieces of milkshake straws that are a little bit bigger than regular straws. And what's going to happen is we're going to put one wheel on an end, and one side of these wheels are flat and the other have some curves, and you can decide which one goes out. So it'll be a wheel, and then we'll thread on this milkshake straw, and then we'll put it through here, and then we put another piece of milkshake straw and another wheel. So this is how this goes, okay? So for this wheel, we'll go tap, 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 tap. You can use some glue if you want. This way, they're in there pretty tight and you don't have to use glue. So I'm gonna put my milkshake straw on, and look at what it does. It stops, it'll help my wheel from bumping into, so now I'll put this one. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. Now it's good to sit up over this. And I have my other wheel on. And it just keeps the wheels in line a little bit. So now I have my other one, and I will do it the same way. So it goes wheel, milkshake straw, then through, and then other milkshake straw and other wheel. Wheel, milkshake straw, wheel, milkshake straw. Oh look, that one I didn't really need this on. Didn't really need the hammer. Right, so there we go. We have it's mostly together, and now it just needs some decorating. You can do a wheelie, a flip. So these two I've already decorated, and this one I painted, and I used a gel pen, a couple of different gel pens, and in your kits, I gave you all 2 gel pens for you to play with. You can use them for this, or you can use them for something else, but they're really fun for detail work. And then you can cut out and try different legs, and I decorated the legs before I put them on, which is a lot easier. And these wheels are spirals. So this one's like a crazy sparkly turtle, and this one is a sea turtle with some multicolor wheels. So I can decide what I want to make and get my scissors, and I can cut this in half. So these are mirror images of each other. So you got one for each turtle. So you can make, so you could have a choice of making them sea turtles or land turtles and have it drawn out. And you can give them 4 sets of arms, 2 sets of arms, whatever you want. And you can change them later. If the arms fall off while you're playing with them, you can glue them back on or make new ones. So this cutting is a really good exercise to cut on a line like that. And then what I'm gonna do is this is the dashed line is a fold line. And I just used my nails to crease it a little bit. This one right here, I thought you could fold it either here or here. It could be a long arm. And I can cut this out in a chunk if it's easier for me to not have the whole paper attached to it. And it's such good practice to learn how to cut curves with some scissors. And remember, you can use these to trace. I put a couple of pieces of colored paper in there for you, so you could make different colored arms and legs if you don't want them this fluorescent green. I'm going to use these feet, or maybe I'll use these feet because I already have one with all the sea turtle parts. So I'm going to use these feet. And you can change it. You can draw over these and change them. Or you can color them all in and see which ones you like the best. So there's one leg. And here's another leg. So these would go on. We glue them on right on the side. Bloop, right there, right underneath the shell. And if you don't want this black from the, there's a little bit, I didn't cut all of the black away, just fold your tab the other way and put it on the other side because these are reversible. So it could be here like this. Bloop. So if you're going to paint, you want to paint first before you do the paper stuff. And I used a pencil to draw on my shell so I could change my mind. So I was talking to a good friend of mine who's Turtle Mountain Ojibwe about this project, which is a tribe of Native Americans. And she was telling me that the turtle shell is a Native American calendar. So I drew this to show you what she told me. So the Native American calendar, there are, in the Native American calendar, there are 13 months, and each month has 28 days. And each of the large tiles on a turtle's back represent a month. So this is the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then there are 28 smaller pieces of a turtle shell all around the side. And there's 28 of them, and they represent the days. So there's a lot of different calendars out there. Here we follow a Roman calendar, and this is a Native American calendar. And a lot of Native Americans consider what we call North America. We call it North America, and they call it Turtle Mountain or Turtle Island. Because in their creation story, a muskrat dives into a flood because there's no land and brings back one small piece, one small handful of dirt and puts it on the turtle's back, and that's what becomes North America. So it's Turtle Island. So these are, it's good to learn about what all the different cultures think and science thinks, because they're all different stories and versions of things. So for this turtle, I painted it and then I did a fine line with the gel pen, or you could use a Sharpie or any fine tip marker. And that's what I did the detailed stuff with. And then I came in with a little bit of a darker marker and made some marks. And there's so many beautiful kinds of turtles. So we're gonna make a 6-sided shape. A hexagon, I may have to correct myself. So if I want a real turtle there are 3 main plates in the middle that are hexagons. And then 2 smaller ones on the ends. And then there are some on the sides. Right? Did I do that right? Yep. Oops. This is why it's good to do it in pencil. So there are all my big plates. And here are the littler ones that surround the shell. And you can draw on the bottom of you can draw on the underside. Right? We can draw all these plates on here in color. So now I have this. So what I can do is I can get my markers out. And I'm going to do this one in blue. And I'm just going to trace all of my pencil lines. Remember, you can erase it if you want to. If your eraser isn't getting all the lines away in the way that you like, use your piece of sandpaper as an eraser, because it works as that. And then I can color these all different colors. Or I could make a calendar out of it. Just like that. And so it is easier to color these while they're not attached. It can be a little tricky. So I'm going to do I'm going to make one line that just goes around and around and around and around. I just drew on them a little bit because I want to show you how to attach them. So I'll get my glue, and this is way too much glue on here, so I'll just get some of it off. I just need a little bit. And I want it just on this part of this tab right here. So that's good. And I'm just gonna hold it here and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I don't want this to get all sorts of glue on it again, I can bring the top over and lay it in the top so it doesn't fall into the glue again. And I'm just looking over it to make sure they're the same amount away from the shell, if that's the way I want it. And then I'm going to put my feet on. Maybe I'll just paint the toenails first. And you can draw on these pieces of paper more once they're on. I drew on the wrong side of it. Dun, 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 dun. And so I could keep decorating. You can draw and color all of these parts and give them some eyes and a nose and a mouth. And I was thinking that y'all can get pieces of cardboard and make ramps, or you can make ramps and have racing turtles on ramps to see how far they go, or you could just push them, or you can make an obstacle course that you have to drive them through. There's so many things that you can do with them. So enjoy. Please send me pictures and questions. And if you have a turtle fact that you want me to know, please tell me. I love turtle facts. So have a good rest of your day, and remember to be helpful and to be kind.